No matter what you're doing in life, no matter what life may bring, you gotta attack that shit like an animal. Shit is not a game, it comes with no manual. In order to beat it, you gotta play like an animal. What is up, you animals? It's your boy Hype, bringing you another video on the Animal Instincts Gaming channel, and this is a weekly Nightfall Strike solo going up against the SABER. And I gotta say, man, this Nightfall, woo, by far is one of, if not the toughest ones in my opinion, and it is a pain. But here you go, I'm using the Vision of Confluence because we got Solar Burn. Also going to be going in there with a Solar Sniper. Really don't use this too much, so go in there with the best sniper that you have. And that's the same thing with all these weapons. If you do not have these exact weapons, maybe you weren't fortunate enough to get the Vision of Confluence, just use the next best solar weapon that you have. So here we go. The first part, which is one of the most difficult parts, is defending the Warsat. Now really, you know, I'm using the Warlock for self-res, and one of the main reasons behind that is, you know, you don't get your health back. So it's only a matter of time without being able to get your shield back that, you know, you're gonna die. So self-res is definitely key to this. Now you want to focus on the weapons on the ships when they drop in, and then try to nade the hell out of the enemies to where, you know, they really don't even get a chance to shoot at you. They're just dropping down into a ball of fire, and just the nades, they regen pretty quick. So as soon as you get another one, toss it out there and just keep doing it. You want to keep the adds down to a minimum. That way, once the next ship spawns in, you can get right on track to taking out the weapons on that one. This part, this is definitely, you know, this wasn't my first go at this part. Just trial and error. Just keep at it. You will get it. Just make sure, you know, as soon as you hear that other ship spawn up, one of the main things is taking those weapons out, because those weapons, they do some serious damage. So make sure the ship has no weapons before you start taking out the adds. And if you're late behind it, then more than likely you're just going to have to end up dying and then starting it over. And then it's the same thing for this one. Once you clear out the weapons, try to launch some nades over at where they're dropping down from the ship at. And you see I do start to get overran here, and then sometimes there's just nothing you can do about that. You know, you're going to have certain runs that'll go a little bit smoother than others. One main thing is, do not, by any means, do not step out of the circle from the Warsat, which is what makes this difficult. There we go. There's the self-res. Let's have a little tally on the screen for how many self-reses we have to use for this damn Nightfall. Rather not, because that'll make it look worse. It'll make me look like the shitty player that I really am. So, as I was saying, one of the main things you do, which is unfortunate, you have to stay close to this Warsat, because it takes so long to hack into this thing to get the codes, that if you step out even for a moment, which it happened to me doing this, you'll get back in there and you'll run out of the damn time. So unfortunately, you know what I mean, there's parts where you might want to run a little bit and get away from the enemies. You can't. You have to stay here. So just make sure you're using your nades, and if you have self-res, really shouldn't be a problem. I don't know what you would do with any other. I mean, maybe with your hunter, you know, just keep going in Viz as much as you possibly can, using your melees to go in Viz, crouching down to go in Viz, and really not dealing with the enemies as much as possible. And with the Titan, just slapping down bubbles after bubbles, because you got, you know, basically unlimited super. Put it into where you have, you know, you can deal more damage while inside your shield, and you know, you'd probably be able to take care of that way. But there we go, the Warsat is done. On to the next part. Now when I get to this part, I like to run to the hallway to the left after you take out the servitor right here in front of you. And you see I'm coming in here already with low health, so your chances of surviving here aren't really great, but at least you made it to this part, and you know, you're done with that Warsat. That's one of the most annoying parts besides the final boss in this entire Nightfall Strike. So, you know, you're almost in the clear. You're almost, once you get past that, you can kind of breathe a little bit. These parts, they are not too difficult. But I like to go back in this hallway and just be careful, because some of these guys, yep, they will spawn in. And there's also some more that spawn in. But as I said out there, don't forget to use your nades. See right here, toss a nade down, get a little overshield from the melee. Managed to stay alive, but I have self-res on deck, so I'm not really too worried about it. It's one of the great things with, you know, having to where you get your, what do they call it, daybreak, to where you get your super back pretty quickly. It's, you know, you almost got unlimited amount of self-reses, which really help out with this this nightfall. You know, it's a lot of the enemies, they do have solar weapons, and right there I get stuck. I'm thinking, man, I'm done. Drop back, take out the captain with a couple rockets, and after you take him out, there's going to be a couple explosive skanks that are going to spawn in. Oh, another self-res, another tally mark. Come on, let's go. That's 2, not including all the stuff that I already edited out, so we're probably at about 20, maybe 30 already. Nah, just kidding, not that much, but definitely the failed attempts at the war set, there was a bit of them. So after you clear out that part, you're going to go through and you're going to run through the little electric trap area, whatever, and that just is what it is. Run through. So this is kind of the next part, which is not difficult at all. This is right past after you're going to go through the electric trap. You're going to come to this doorway. There's going to be a few enemies inside this room, and just kind of, you know, take cover from in and out of the doorway, clearing out all the ads that are close to you. After you clear them out, you're going to have a few more up in this area. Servitors going to spawn in. This part is not difficult at all. And that goes for the same for the next kind of little mini encounter, I guess you would call it. Right before the final boss, the S.A.B.E.R himself, which that part will be there in a second. So right when you come to this part, it's kind of the same thing. You know, slowly progress through the doorway, clearing out the ads in the middle. This servitor is not guaranteed that he's going to be there every time. He could be up there in the middle with the ads, but just clear everything out. Should not be no problem for you if you made, especially if you made it this far. This stuff is simple. Really, you don't even have to kill them all. You could kind of just run through there, but you know, if you want to go for the gold, it helps killing as many enemies as possible if you're trying to get the gold completed. So here we go, and for this part I really don't have any kind of set strategy. You're going to see right here I left this part where I fell miserably, and basically what I can tell you for this is when he first spawns in, he's going to start out with solar. He switches through damage phases. He starts out with solar, then I think goes void and finishes off with arc. You want to get him off solar because of solar burn as fast as possible. So right when he spawns up, you're going to want to hit him through some nades, and don't be where I'm at. You'll see after I die the second time, I'm in a better location. 2 shots from this thing and you are done. Boom. I self-res, which doesn't matter. Does not matter. I was not ready for this, was not prepared for this. But over here is where you're kind of going to want to be when it first spawns in, which you'll see after I die here. Coming up in a second. Second time around is the area where I go. Make sure you know you have a synth ready. Make sure you got some rockets, good rockets. If you're not using the Vision of Confluence for the solar burn on that, then you know Gallahorn would probably be a really great weapon of choice for this. When can you ever go wrong with a Gallahorn? There we go, I'm popping a heavy, getting a little bit unprepared right here. Got a couple servitors, you know, they always going to be the first 2 things that you want to take care of. Servitor to the right and one off to the left. After you take them down, that's when the S.A.B.E.R is going to spawn in. This time around, I'm a little bit more, you know, ready. I'm not going to be up. I was kind of thinking that the solar, between the solar nades and the rockets, it was going to do more damage than it did to him last time. Now remember, jumping, you do increase damage while jumping, so if you want, try and, you know, hit some jump shots. But remember, the main thing is your nades. If you're a warlock, have your dual nades on, check your discipline, put your discipline up, get your nades back even quicker, and just hit them with them nades. I still get wrecked, but I have my self-res on deck, launch over another nade, head on to the opposite side of the map, because now all the enemies are where they got pulled into where I was last. So from over this other side of the map, now you can see he switched over to his void, and the void is now you're almost in the clear. You know, you don't have to worry about the SABER too much anymore. Main thing from this point, when I'm tucked in at this corner, the main thing you're going to want to do is just make sure, you know, don't get too aggressive. Wait until you have your self-res ready, or whatever super that you're using. Wait until it's ready. See the heavy right there? I'm not even going to chance it until I have my special, super, whatever you want to call it. There we go. I grab it, and, you know, you're going to get electrocuted. That just comes with the territory. It ends up killing me one of these times coming up here. Yep, right there. Environmental hazard. So I'm going to drop back down, and kind of the same thing here. I don't really want to do too much until I have my self-res back. Just play it safe. At this point, you know, you're at the home stretch. You don't want to chance nothing. I see the SABER's getting close to me right there, so I run out. I'm going to go back to where I started, to the opposite side of the map, as far away from him as possible. Kill some of the ads. Try to build my super back. Now you can just imagine, basing off of the looks of this, like without self-res, trying to do it solo without self-res. I'm not saying it can't be done. It definitely can be done, but it's just that much more challenging, and I wouldn't even want to. This is annoying enough. That's the only way I can really word this strike, is it's annoying. And me personally, you know, where this game is right now, where it's at in its life, there's nothing that I really am looking forward to getting. There's nothing that I'm after, so these nightfalls really aren't that big of a deal. A lot of times I only really run them once a week, so just to do it, just to stay fresh with the game, you know, because hopefully that beta is right around the corner for Destiny 2, and boom, at this point, yeah, be ready for the sniper skanks. And once they spawn out, he's getting close to me, so I'm going to run to the other side of the map, but not really worry about him right now. Just take care of the snipers. And you see, open the 4 windows, that's where they spawn out, and I think there may be 2 on the ground. So once you take all them out, and you'll see I have to do that twice, then that's it. Then I can just focus on the SABER. And one little key reminder, which what made me remind me of this was the rewards I got, which made it not even, oh man, like it makes it that much more not even worth it. I think I ended up with 11 exact, 11 free of coins. So that's a reminder. Make sure your 3 of coins is popped. Get a chance at dropping an exotic, which I did not. You know, whatever. Like I said, I'm not really worried about getting too much out of this. I still am missing a few things, but you don't really get them from drops or nothing like that. You know, you gotta do the challenges, but that's it. SABER Solo. Man, that one's tough. Good luck. Have fun with that, man. But that's gonna about wrap it up for me in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to hit that like button. If you haven't, be sure to subscribe. As always, thanks for watching. Till next time, Animals, it's your boy Hype. There goes the 3 coins. Come on. We out. No matter what you doing in life, no matter what life may bring, you gotta attack that shit like an animal. Shit is not a game, it comes with no manual. In order to beat it, you gotta play like an animal.